Hello there, commanders, and welcome to another episode of Gladiator Faction Preview. We are back on Spartacus and we are previewing Gladiator type unit. Again, the unit icon just says Sword Infantry because, well, it is Sword Infantry. But it is a little bit special. As you can see, it has only 50 soldiers over here. But its HP pool doesn't really follow that logic. As you can see, every single model has 419 HP, which is more in line with cavalry. As you can see, Gladiators, for example, has 519, and I would expect Gladiators is rather the upper end rather than the lower end. So we see some other cavalry. Also 519 in case of the Libyan Vanguard. So I guess my point is invalid, sort of. This doesn't really matter. But infantry has 275, so your overall HP pool is still going to be lower, but not half. So it is 27,550 compared to 21,000 on our commander unit anyway. But it's only a difference of 50. So if you didn't know, your commander has 50 more HP than a regular model. Okay, maybe since we are in a big AoE fight, let's start using our skills. And see, I could only buff half of the fight. Again, they are doing pretty well, but if I wanted, I could buff these guys as well. I don't think I need to. They are doing well enough without it. So yeah, I'm just going to save it, so I actually rotate it now better. I'm going to rotate this one as well. And let's get into reviewing the actual unit skills enough of reviewing Spartacus. There's an episode for that as well, so if you want in-depth analysis of how these skills work and what I think of them, go and watch that. So, execute, strike, damage. Perform a lethal strike that does severe damage but has a low chance to hit. This ability can hit enemies who are knocked down, so similar to SUNTZU's Opportunist, which, fun fact, was also an ability on Kanane, and then for a brief time also on Miltiades, and it was called something else than Opportunist, but I don't remember the exact name of it. Maybe Execute as well? Probably not. Could make sense, but that doesn't matter. Targets cooldown affect self-enemy units, obviously cooldown 15 seconds, so it's pretty short. And then duration 2 seconds. 50% melee weapon damage, which is nice. Gives the duration 2 seconds, so it won't apply to the strike itself. And then minus 14 melee attack, so it is more difficult to land a hit. But we can offset it by using our two abilities, if you play Spartacus. So this one gives me plus 21% melee attack. Let's apply it as the first one expired. And then Champion gives us plus 40. So we are actually, well, just the Champion itself mitigates the minus 40 melee attack debuff. And then Uprising just gives us plus 21% on top, which allows us to land more of those highly damaging hits. And then also Champion lasts for 20 seconds, this is 15 seconds cooldown, so if you do it smartly, as in use Champion, then immediately use Execute, and then use Execute as it comes off cooldown, you will be able to land 2 very powerful strikes. But again, Kieran doesn't have 100 soldiers, so it's fewer soldiers striking, but it still hurts from the numbers we've seen, like 200 something. I think it was, right? Yep. Okay, let's continue onward to another ability, but I think it is a strike. Okay, we do have a million. Never mind, we don't. Oh, we have a million over here. So let's go towards it. And it is a strike, yep. As it disappears after we get out of melee. And there we go, we're in melee again. Oof, that's a really nice charge. Also an ambush. Okay. So the second ability is Overpower. Utility Strike, damage, knockback. So nice, it works well with these guys as well, although it doesn't give you melee weapon damage, but still. You can use it in between and use it also while using Champion. So Champion, Execute, Overpower, Execute again. This one has 30 seconds cooldown, duration 8 seconds, and it does minus 20% movement speed, not that much, but it's something, and minus 20% melee defense. Again, not that much, but it is something.
The enemy base is
So it also helps you land this strike, because melee defense also fights melee attack directly. So that's pretty good. That's a good synergy between the unit skills and commander skills if you're playing Spartacus. And if you're playing Crixus, that would be pretty good as well, because he also has melee attack and melee weapon damage buffs. But I don't think I'll have time to record the videos. I should have time to record all the unit types, but I won't be able to record all the unit types on both commanders. So I'm just going to limit myself to one commander per unit type, and the one that I think is better. But I think they're all good on all the unit types, as they're all melee, and the command is also melee, so they just work, you know? So yeah, there's that. Oof, we're getting surrounded here, but we have pretty nice buffs. This is 20 morale, this gives plus 50 morale, so you pretty resistant routing, but not if you have surprise real flank, aka surprise Spartacus. That's actually just get out of here. It's a pretty bad spot to be in. We are losing E, it's getting back up. So I guess the third ability is out of melee. To be used out of melee, I guess we can use it now. Indomitable. Buff. The unit plants its feet briefly. Okay, it's not. Yeah, but so it's a combat ability. Let's fight Chrysler here for a second.
The enemy base is under attack.
So it's essentially a Steam ability, as in an ability that was available on Steam, but hasn't been available since. I don't think it was ever available in Wargaming. They dropped it in the transition between Steam and Wargaming, and now it's making its way back. So what it does, it gives us minus 20% movement speed. The Steam version just made you unmovable, which arguably is better when it comes to charge deflect. And it also gives you plus 21% charge deflect. This one doesn't give us charge deflect. Yeah, it's Crixus that gives us with just unbreakable. Is that this skill called? Something like that. But anyway, Indomitable also gives you plus 80% shield melee defense, so it can also be used in melee, which means all three of these abilities are melee buffs. Well, not buffs, but abilities to use in melee. For example, often you have like regular legionaries. They would have their strike, like stab or parry, and then they would have Pila. So that's out of an ability that you cannot use in melee. Once in melee, you can only use it right before entering melee. And then the third ability really depends on the unit, but yeah, either it's some AoE, it's usually some AoE buff, to be honest, yeah. Sometimes it's something different, like marching column or charging column, but usually it's an AoE buff to either morale or melee stats, or both, if you are pay to win premium unit. So I would say it's really good for fighting. It's just pure fighting unit, to be honest. And it synergizes well with commander abilities. Whoops, cheating.
We are half.
And your flanking damage is also pretty high, let's see. 70, yep, so just like barbarians. Nice friendly fire by the way, Max, thanks for that. Yeah, kill Cheddar instead. No, let's run away. Maybe he'll finish Crisis. There's our Arcanus chasing him. And we also got D. Nice, without my help. Well, I did, but sort of. What we call this and a little bit longer range, but still it's pretty long, so I could almost support the fight at D from here. And now let's go into the base. As we control... okay, we do not control the other side. Actually, maybe let me go on an adventure. As I recall back to base and go there. Also, other thing that comes into mind when playing these units, the fact that I have 50 soldiers and higher HP pools, that immediately screams that it will synergize well with commanders that have healing abilities, so Zhuge Liang and Hazardball, especially Hazardball, since the unit ability, the healing ability is also tied with melee buffs, so it will help you double. It gives melee attack and melee defense, so it helps you land your powerful strikes. Okay, 1 powerful strike. 2 if you wear Crixus, as he has his own strike as a commander ability. So yeah, it's really good synergy. So if you have a party friend, then ask him to bring Hazardable or Julien, alternatively. You'll benefit from the healing, not from melee buffs,
A new capture point has become available.
as Way of the Wind doesn't entail any melee buffs. Shit, they will look B before I get there. Come on, faster. Just 1 unit. Get in. I
Our
got it.
capture
Nice.
point is contested.
Come on. Also, I should have used this. Makes me slightly faster. And yeah, the melee attack and melee damage is really nice. As you can see, those units, once they start routing, and you're really good at routing, they route very quickly.
We have secured a capture point.
I can buff the entire fight. It also gives me some morale, so I'm less likely to route. Use champion, gives me even more morale. There we go, even though I'm surprisingly left flanked. Except really, but yeah, sure. And now I can start landing my strikes. That is a powerful strike. And it will be more powerful against units like Foxmen, who have quite low melee defense, only 40. And also don't have shields, so yeah, definitely low. And our melee defense is pretty high. 36, much higher. And again 50, maybe they leveled up, I don't know. Also this gives us melee defense, this gives, well, this gives the other units melee defense. So we can spam all 3 of it, or just 2. It gives melee defense to all units. So you're really tanky, so again it synergizes with healing. This unit lost 10% of its HP from the single soldier. This unit only 2 soldiers, this unit only 3 soldiers. By having lost quite a lot of HP. So bam. And bam. I really like to use it since duration is 8 seconds, so wait until it's like 6 seconds of cooldown. And then use Overpower, and then use Execute again. I really like the Execute ability. Yeah, in general, I have a lot of damage. It's just over-tuned Foxman, to be honest. Well, balanced by the fact that there's fewer soldiers in a unit. So yeah, overall, I really like this unit type.
Point is under attack.
Just 50 soldiers, so you have a lower people to work with. But a lot of advantages, to be honest. The stats, I think they're really high. I haven't done a direct comparison, but they seem high. The melee performance is great. All the abilities synergize with your melee performance.
Our capture point is
They also synergize with commander abilities.
Half of the enemy team
just
has been eliminated.
Really good. So yeah, I'm excited to play this. Even though I'm technically a range player, although not that much anymore because range units suck, so I didn't play them that much, just for the days, and then I play melee units to level those up. But yeah, that is really being the topic. So yeah, I'll be playing those. I can use my unit tokens. Yeah, that was definitely surprising right flank. I'm so much on the right. And today's use. Mitchell doesn't know, cannot tell the difference between left and right.
We will never be slaves again. Strike through.
Might have followed too quickly on that. But yeah, we can also use this. So this gives us shield defense, as you can see. It jumps up. Shield melee defense goes up to 64. And it originally is on 36. So yeah, it increases your defense by quite a bit. So right now it is 114 and it jumps to 64, so that's a buff of 28. Yep. And I can never do math and stream at the same time, or record a video for that matter. So maybe my math is off, but the point still stands. It's a pretty big increase. Well, what was it? 28? And the base was 100. Well, it's not really base because we already buffed. And shield melee defense doesn't buff, and it doesn't show over here. It was over here, but it's only rank 1, not rank 2. Give me rank 2. Yeah, it's 25 melee defense, doesn't increase your shield melee defense. So the percentage is actually higher. I'm not going to calculate that as the battle is about to end. Literally in 10 seconds, even less. Let's get a charge.
Capture point has become available.
Yeah, boy. Ooh, get wrecked. That's powerful charge. Then again, those are javelins, but still, for an infantry charge, still pretty powerful, to be honest. And yeah, it's a really good unit. Interesting. Well, maybe not playstyle, but an interesting thing with 50 soldiers and higher rich people. Plays like barbarians with a high speed and high morale damage, so you should go for flanks. Although it did get debuffs in forest, I think, yeah. So it's technically not classified as light infantry, but it kind of feels like one. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, unless you're Legionnaire Forest and are getting those debuffs. But they're not that big, 10% to be honest, yeah. Can be mitigated by most of their skills. And all the skills synergize so well with themselves, and also regardless of whether you play Spartacus or Crixus. So yeah, just really, really good. It's hard to tell how balanced this unit is in comparison to other units, but it felt pretty alright. I wouldn't say overpowered. I would expect its weakness to be versus ranged units. That's pretty good, I guess, as it felt really strong against regular melee units. Yeah, just overall, really, really good. I can imagine it being used in tournaments and being meta. Nice. Overall, nice. It has my seal of approval, if it matters at all. So there we go. That's the Gladiator type unit. It says sword infantry, but yeah, let's just call them Gladiators. You can help us bring the war back to the west. Check out the link in the description and on your screen, hopefully, if I didn't forget about it. And I'll see you in all the other Gladiator units, just faction preview episodes, and also on Arena's Battlefields Commanders.